Hey, Tej here. Today we are taking a look at technical analysis for gold. We'll go over some major levels of support and resistance and some wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory. So let's get going. I'm making this video because I got an alert just because we hit this area here. We had an Elliott Wave count saying that we can't hit this area, and if we do, that count is invalidated. We got a couple of different counts that had that area of interest, so we'll go over that in just a short moment. Before that, we'll go over some major levels of resistance. So let's go. Again, we are still between these two major areas of support and resistance. Above here, around 2050, we got this massive area of resistance, and below here around 1700 we got this massive area of support where we visited now multiple times backtesting this area, establishing it weekly here as well. That has been tested multiple times, so it is not as good of a support anymore, I guess, but still something to look out for. Now we have this volume profile again. We got a couple of different areas of interest. Around here, around 1900 something, we got a monthly and this range value area high. They're not really lined up together too well, around 0.5% off. So I guess this could be an area of interest. We have a high volume node here as well, around this area, providing some kind of resistance if the price gets up here. Below here, our current price, we got this point of control of the whole range and a monthly. Again, they're not overlapping, they are again around that 0.5% off of each other, around 1780, and again high volume area node with a monthly should be good support here. Now the area we bounced off of from currently or today was this daily that we had established around 16th of February, and now we seem to be bouncing up higher. Currently we also have had this 0.5 fib retracement from the lows here of March 9th to the highs of 7th of March, and we hit again that 0.5 area. Now we got the golden pocket here that is not really lining up too well with anything, so I'm not going to just stress over about it too much. What else do we have? We have a couple of different channels that people are most likely having on their charts as well. This one is almost just horizontal from the highs, keeping these two highs together and pulling it down to the lows of 5th of March. Not much value on this one. We got a support and resistance both here on the brown boxes. This one is quite interesting to me, is again from the lows of 9th of August to the lows of 14th of December, and just bringing it up to the highs of March 7th. This is giving us some kind of upwards channel that we are still in. We'll see if this is a valid channel at all. It hasn't been back tested once after this point, after this channel is established. Now this could be even established in different ways. We could have this as the low, pointing it to this one and bringing it down here, and now we could be looking for back test of this one and resistance up here. A couple of different ways to look into that. But yeah, these are the interesting levels to me. So basically targets or take profits, or anyways, places to set an alarm to and see what is happening. Now Elliott Wave wise, we have been looking into the possibility of this being a wave 3 and this structure here either wave 4. Also another possibility was that this was actually a cycle 1 done here, but again RSI is peaking here, so it is definitely not likely that this is the case. Now let's continue with this one instead. So we had a possibility of having a triangle here in the in A, B, C, D, E. Wave 4 would have been completed here. The idea previously was that we had 1, 2, this whole structure was 3, then wave 4 would have come down. Now wave 4 is now at the same place basically where wave 1 is, so it is overlapping, which makes this invalid. Now how do we fix that? Is like this. We can place wave 3 here, wave 4 here. We got to the 1.618 as well earlier, so it doesn't really matter. Although something that, again, that I don't like about this is the highest RSI is here at this peak, which is not really reflecting too well on this one here. We got a higher, again, it is still higher even in lower time frames. Let's check out maybe 4 hour. Now we can get that divergence. So maybe there's not anything to worry about here. We can get again 5-way structures in here in both of these without any too much issues. Now about this wave structure downwards, I had this marked out as, or labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a third of minute, a zigzag into the fourth. The fourth and the second are really weird looking. Neither of them have any structures of flats, so there is still a possibility. Let's just confirm that this didn't go too low. Yeah, it is still possible for this structure to be the B wave if we can find a zigzag possibility in here. Now the question is this structure done here? We are expecting A, B, C, so the C wave is again 5 waves as we've seen here. The targets inverse 5th here, targets we are just around that area where we were expecting it, and we also got a higher time frame target, and the golden pocket for this intermediate one, we're right around that area as well. Targets for the ABC on yellow as well, around 85.4. I was expecting this 1-to-1, but again the shorter time frame targets were giving this here, this pocket. So now we're currently looking at some kind of structure that is going higher. To me this looks like either 1-2s or some kind of diagonal going up here. We would be looking at down for the downwards movement, looking for some kind of backtest here of around 50% to the golden pocket whenever this stops on really short term, to see a possibility if we can get higher targets. And that is again saying that this wave C is done. Let's go back to higher time frame. So we checked both of these. Then we had this possibility of having more bullish option here. Again, we invalidated this count here because the wave 4 came into the area of wave 1. Instead we could have this fixed, same as before, saying this is wave 3, 4 and 5, and at that point we could be looking at this as again the wave 3 because it is super high here on RSI, and there wouldn't be an issue with that. Third here would be higher than the 5th here, so there is a divergence between these two peaks as well, which is expected. Now we would be looking at the same structure downwards with an ABC structure for the wave 2, just a different degree. Now this is pretty close already to the invalidation of this count, but we need to keep this in mind. Let's mark that and set an alarm to it. It is not invalid. So what I mean by that is, again, we would need to hold this area where we're currently at. We can't go really much more down since the wave 1 is already up here around 1830. So if this structure comes down to here, again, we can invalidate this whole count, because we can't get the fourth into the first area. Let's put these guys here. Now another possibility, again, let's go to 8 hours so we can see the whole thing, is this one, saying that we have again the third up here getting A, B and C. B is more than 90% retraced off the A, so we can have that easily. A, B, C looking pretty good structure. We had this structure drawn here previously as well for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the C wave, we just had a more bullish versions on the bullish counts itself. Here we are expecting quite a bit more downwards movement. We have two different options here. Again, this is actually minute. So again, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The third wave is expected around 1731, and currently looking like, if this is a structure that is not this ABC, this alternate here, this could be just wave 1 of this structure, saying again we would come down here and get to the third around here. What else? This possibility of being ABC here is definitely still on, and at that point I would be expecting three waves up again, or if this starts correcting upwards and gets above this high here, it invalidates it invalidates the idea of this being a 5-way structure that is continuing more down. So it is invalidating the idea of this being some kind of bearish impulse structure. So we'll need to set an alarm to that one as well. At that point, if it goes up here, most likely it is, whichever it can be, 3 waves or 5-way, it doesn't really matter. Let's just say 3 waves like so. We are expecting, again, on the higher time frame, looking at the C wave, we would be looking at either, if we can't get a structure here that is part of the C wave, we can be looking at a XY count here, and at that point we would be expecting 3 wave structures, so 1, 2 and 3, and last leg again would be 3 waves, as WXYs are a combination of corrections. But I think that's all I want to share to you about today on gold. Let me know if you have other counts I should be covering on gold, and yeah, if you have another coin you would like me to analyze, or a current one that I've already done and want to have an update for, let me know as well. But for now, thank you for watching and hope to see you back on the channel soon. Bye bye.